Test, test, test. Okay. Test, test. Okay. Hey, how you doing, everybody? Good morning. Okay, or how about, I can probably, got my hair. How you doing, everybody? We're here at another morning today here with you. Isn't that awesome? Woke up, didn't even put up on my makeup, and then I put up on my energy drink on the table. Then I'm having the energy drink on the stream. Then I'm gonna put it on the table. Yeah, it's kind of like a homemade energy drink. I just finished it off. Need a lot of caffeine today because I am tired. Okay, like super tired. Holy crap. How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Oh. Okay, I think I have to do the rituals. Close other tabs. I gotta post the stream. Streaming live on checkersclub.com. Yeah, I guess. Let's just post that on X. Okay. Yeah, things have been a little bit slow, like coming back, because like I've been gone for a bit. So like I'm, it's gonna be pretty normal that I kind of lost a lot of my viewers, but it's okay. I didn't have a ton of viewers. They'll come back. They'll make their way back. It's fine. Plus, we find some. I'm small enough that we pretty much some people need the scalpel. We need the chainsaw. That's it's kind of the situation we got going. Let's see. Oh. Yeah, still don't know exactly the best setup that we can have here. I have the camera facing towards like the chat, so whenever I actually like am reading what you guys say, I'm like looking directly at you. Maybe not directly, like this is where the chat is, this is where the camera is, this is where my monitor is. So it's like trying to understand like the line of sight. Like right now, this is where I'm looking. This is where the camera is, and this is where the chat is. So it's like comprehending 3D space is kind of difficult to do, mentally. Yeah, so what are we doing today? What are we doing? Well, we are going to be playing some checkers. Okay, and so like one of the things that like I have a hard time dealing with is that I get this like internal belief that whenever I play a certain board game that I'm taking away from other board games like chess, for example. That, oh, why are you playing checkers? Like, there's this guilt that shows up. Like, if I'm playing checkers, I'm not playing chess. If I'm playing chess or checkers, I'm not playing shogi. If I'm playing any of those games, I'm not playing Shang-Chi. If I'm playing any of those, I'm not playing Go. I get this like guilt from playing one game over another, and I need to get rid of that, because at the top level, you see a lot of people at the top level of any of these games, and you notice that like they will often recommend to play different games. And why is that? And I believe there has been a lot of research into this, is that because you are training obviously specific knowledge and specific regions of your brain whenever you play a specific variant of any of these games, like chess or checkers or Shang-Chi or Shogi or Go. Go is very different than any of those games. Chess and Shang-Chi and Shogi are extremely similar, but very different. But like they're in the same like family. Checkers is kind of like in a very like kind of it's like an overarching game. So checkers has a longer history than any of these games. In fact, it's probably the longest surviving game in its purest form. All these variants that we play are more modern. There's a lot of variants throughout history that we no longer play. But the idea of placing stones and advancing them and then forced captures, older variants had no forced capture. There's like, I think there's like 1,000 different variants of checkers. So it's like, there's so many different variants. And the thing is, it's like a 5,000-year-old game. So it has like the only reason checkers crawled so that chess could walk. Like, like that's like the whole thing. Or, checkers walked so that chess could run. But I don't like this idea of segregation where we think that, oh, chess is more important than checkers. It's like there are two different games, and I think internally, as intellectual beings, we like to feel like we're more superior if we play one game over the other. There's always this like infighting between the board game communities, right? People who play Go think they're better than people who play chess. People who play chess think they're better than people who play checkers. People who play checkers think they're above all the rest because they're like, oh, well, we don't have an ego. It's like the idea that you even think any of these games are fundamentally different is kind of the part of the problem. Like, these games are all fundamentally the same. They are all zero-sum games. They are all games of perfect information. And they are turn-based games that require strategy. Like, it uses the same regions of your brain. And until you fully lock into that reality, you're going to be held back in your progress. Because a lot of people I've never really met anybody at the very top level of any of these games. I've never met anybody who's extremely grandmaster level at any of these games. But what I've noticed is that people who are around my level and below have a lot of ego. And you notice a lot of people at the top level probably have a much bigger ego, but they've earned it. There's like a little bit of a difference, right? Like, there's a difference between somebody who has ego and it's like fake compared to somebody who has ego and they earned it. Like, it's just people, but I also think there is like a humbling nature to all of these games, that if you spend thousands of hours studying these games, you start to build a respect for it. And it humbles you because you understand that this game is way bigger than you. And what you thought you knew about it, you're so far below where you need to be to actually be playing it at a high level. But I think people around my level and below, like, beginner to intermediate players in any of these games, whether it's chess or checkers, any variant of checkers, whether it's shogi or Shang-Chi, or whether it's other variants of Shang-Chi like Jonggi in Korea, which is a bit different, or playing Go, for example. We will, over the course of my lifetime, over the course of my content creation career, I will find opportunities to play all of these games. Now, it's going to be easier to find chess, like especially in like America, like in the United States, especially in California. Although there are some around San Francisco, there's a lot of diverse culture. And so there's a lot of different people who are playing these games, but I have to find them. And that's like the challenge. Because a lot of it is these games exist, but finding the people who actively play it is even harder. Finding tournaments is even harder because there is no Shang-Chi tournaments in the United States. They're only in like China and Vietnam. I'm pretty sure it's popular in Vietnam, Bong Tuo. I think it's called Bong Tuo. I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I don't understand how to pronounce Vietnamese, but I know that Shang-Chi is really popular among Vietnamese people. So, maybe if I can find enough people, I'm kind of on a journey, and I invite my channel into, whether I'm going to be successful or not in this, but I'm setting a lifetime goal of trying to find the people who play these games, and maybe even starting our own federation for like Shang-Chi in the United States, or shogi. I know that there's like players who play these, but shogi is primarily played in Japan. Go, there is the American Go Federation, so that's already in place. Chess, obviously, USCF. Checkers, there is a checkers league, but it's American checkers, so there's no Russian checkers. There's international checkers is like almost like, I'm pretty sure it's unheard of in the United States. So international checkers needs to be brought to the United States attention. So if we can find a unified way of collecting all the checkers players into the like into the broader checkers international space, all variants, like I feel like finding people to compete is a real challenge. And I think that's like a challenge that, maybe I can be a part of helping grow. And, finding the people who organize these events, finding the people who want to advocate for people to learn these games, finding the people who want to compete in these games, that is a real challenge. And I think it's a meaningful endeavor. I think it builds community. I think it builds an ecosystem. It obviously benefits me because I'm a content creator. So I think that's a worthy endeavor. I don't know if we will achieve success, but it's a goal, right? That's our goal. Now it's going to start with me. I can play online. I can find people individually to play. And so we're going to start that journey together. So join me on this journey. And we're going to walk through that door. Well, there is no door there, but I guess we're going to float up into the sky because you guys don't see the ceiling. Remember the previous was like, I never opened the door, and then when I open the door, I'm here. Oh, now you guys are expecting it. So that now you guys got to slow your roll, okay? You guys got to slow your roll. Just because I did it one time doesn't mean that's a pattern, okay? Now you're expecting me to do that gag again. Okay. So I have to find I have to find another bit. Okay. Anyway, let's get into playing some checkers, shall we? All right. Okay, let's get right into it. Let's play some 5+3. Let's join this one with Damero. Okay. Let's start with 11:15. Why is there no sound? Oh, that's why. Okay. Okay, do we want to trade? Let's offer a trade here too. See where white goes. Okay. Okay, and now which direction are we going to go? 15 or 14 to 22 or 23? Because do we want a stone on 16 or 14? I think having a stone on 14. White didn't take the double capture. Okay. Well, now if I play 10, 15, 17 takes 10, and then 7 takes 14. I have a stone on 14 no matter what. But then again, do I really need to trade? Because then I have a stone on 15. Okay. Okay, now going through 17 is going to be a thing. So I think I need to play 610. Okay. And the biggest thing is I'm going to need event if I can wait. I have tempo to do it. So as soon as 1713, I play 1-6. So until then, how about let's just play 4-8. Let's advance to the 11. Okay. I can play 11-16 or 12-16. Hey, Rainy, how you doing? Yeah, we moved. We moved. Look at all this space we got. Look at all this. Woo! Ah, ah. How are you doing, Rainy gal? Welcome back. Welcome back. Hey, nerd. How you doing? We're playing some checkers. We're playing some American checkers right now. I'm just kind of chilling. Yeah, I think either 12-16 or 11-16. I don't want to have a weakness here. I mean, I would have to bring up 3. So I think 12-16 needs to stay there. 12 needs to stay there to defend 16 because eventually I might want to play over on 19. So how about let's play 11-16. You're doing good? I'm glad. Okay, so I need to, let's force a capture after 16, 19, 23 takes 16, and then 12 takes 19. Okay, and then now to prevent promotion, so I need to keep these stones here. So 3 and 2 need to stay here. So I think I can start advancing 15, 18, followed by, okay, that's preventing 19, 23. But I can start advancing into 22. Now until, this does prevent 29, 25. It also prevents 31 movement. So I think I just need to kind of, yeah, there's some movement here. Okay, so yeah, the biggest problem is going to be 1713 is allowed. And as soon as 1713, 26 takes 17 is a thing. So I may have locked myself into this. Okay, so yeah, I need to allow a capture here. So first I need to play 2-6. Okay, and then that's going to be captured. So I get to play 10-15, and then oh yeah, oh oops, I forgot about that. Oops. Okay, I needed to play another move first. Okay, okay. Well, this is going to be a forced capture. Okay. You like painting on your wall? Love the room and the squishmallow. Is Hello Kitty? Yes, it's Hello Kitty. Hello cat. Yeah, the paintings, that one, I don't know who the artist is, the bigger one. The smaller paintings my friend made me. So you can see the paintings over there. My friend painted those. I don't know if you can see them. I don't want to move the camera. Yeah, okay, so I need to play the game. I'm not playing too well now. Oh, God. Okay. Well, this is what I get for making the one wrong move. Okay. Okay. Actually, I think, I think white made some mistakes, so now I'm winning. So it's kind of how it goes. Yeah, now I'm just going to get another king. Okay, well, that's just a capture. I need to get opposition here. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Then start making new kings. Okay. Well, now I'm just winning. Okay, just play a waiting move. There we go. Yeah. Let me just fix the camera really quick. Yeah, so you can see the paintings over there. It's like a meme cat, and then it's like a fish smoking a cigarette. My friend really liked that. Okay. Yeah, let's go through the game review. Okay, so basically, let's have the engine do some analysis. Yeah, I also did a backyard portion of the stream yesterday. So if you want to go back to the previous live to see, I can actually load it up right now. I got to be careful with my, let's load up the, I got to load up, unhook. Okay. Okay, so if we go into YouTube, let's see, any new videos? Okay, so if we go into my videos, yeah, this one got 16K. I'm 1.6K. Yeah, I'm gonna have trouble with views for a bit because I haven't been uploading consistently for about a month because I was doing the move. But in yesterday's stream, yeah, I had the stream outside for a bit. Wait, is it type 0? Yeah. Yeah, so I was like streaming out in the backyard for a bit. You can see I have a beautiful, beautiful place that I live now. Absolutely beautiful. And I talked about it a little bit. I talked about it for a little bit. Basically, I'm in a situation where there is nothing that will ever put me in danger ever again. That I am in a situation now where I am protected legally. Like I have leverage. This is something I've never had um, in like my entire adult life, and actually in my entire life in general. I have never had the ability to actually have a say in what happens to me. Not until like I started building it 7 years ago. So like, I went through my surgeries. I went through the battles to get, an income from Social Security and supplemental security income. Um, I got my surgeries to happen, and now I got housing to happen. And it's not just housing, because even if this house were to somehow not work out, hey, Fonzie, what's up? Hey, even if this housing were to somehow not work out, the agency I'm working with is legally compelled to find me a new situation. And I have worries, I have fears, but I am reminded by people who work with this agency that they have never experienced once somebody being ejected from the program. I would have to try really hard. Like I'd have to literally. In fact, I probably wouldn't even get kicked out of the program. I think the only thing that would possibly ruin this is if I literally like. I don't even want to mention it. I'll probably get banned. That's how bad it would have to be. Like I would have to literally try to ruin my life, and like I'm not going to accidentally ruin things. Like that's not going to happen. But that's a real fear, because when you've been like in a stressful like survival kind of life for so long, you start to like feel like there's never any solid ground that you can stand on. And I'm starting to learn that now I do have solid ground, and I'm trying to learn how to trust it. And so that's kind of like the journey we're on right now, is me trying to accept that I'm safe now. That's like the biggest thing. Um, yeah. So, I have this beautiful backyard. I have this beautiful home. Um, there's lots of resources around me. Um, I don't want to give away too much information. In the past, when I was starting out on streaming 7 years ago, I didn't really know too much how to keep myself protected and protect my private information. So now I'm a little bit better at it. There's only so much information, and also so much footage that I'm actually going to provide. I'm not gonna, I'm gonna keep things like, specific scenes, so to speak, that we're gonna be creating. Um, like the backyard's fine. I think plenty of people make like live streams in their backyard. I need to calm down. Okay. Like I don't need to be like super lock and key. Like I put a green screen behind me to spoof my GPS location on my camera just in case. Like even though it's a camera connected to a Linux machine, connected to a server that only filters through exact data, and then that is filtered into a DVD player that then records the video and then plays it back from the DVD itself in an encrypted algorithm that creates the new embedded video on the DVD, and then I'm only getting an HDMI cable from the DVD player into the computer for OBS. And that OBS is on a separate machine that is then relayed over on a local network into an encrypted router into the streaming PC. Okay, we don't need to go that far. Okay, like. What am I, the like freaking like the Pope? Like, like I don't know. Like I don't even know what I'm talking about. I need to get some water. So let me deal with that. Oh, okay. Yeah. I need to be right back. Yeah. So basically, I'm glad to share this update with everyone. I'm glad to finally people like Rainy Gao. I know you've been like kind of you and several other viewers are going to be trickling in and seeing me in the new streaming environment. Yeah, like Fonzie. Fonzie is like, this is new for you. It's new for almost all my viewers. So I'm going to get people trickling in over the next couple of weeks. People checking in on me, and I'm glad to give this good news for everybody that I'm finally out of the trailer. I'm away from my dad. I'm protected. I have real leverage. I have absolute like legal protections. For all intents and purposes, I am completely safe. I am not at risk of homelessness ever again. I am always going to have support and resources. I'm going to have guidance. There are some, responsibilities I have, but they're very few and far between. I only moved in about a month ago, so things are a little bit hectic as far as like we got to do some procedural things. But those are like really like they're almost over. I'm also adjusting emotionally and psychologically and physically. Like my whole body is exhausted. I didn't realize how bad things truly were in the trailer with my dad, and as soon as I moved out, it started pouring in, like the emotions, the horror of the situation, the the fact that there was no way out. And until I actually got confirmation that this was going to happen, I had no idea when it would happen. And so I was in constant fear that it was never going to happen. And then it just suddenly happened. And so like that's kind of the big thing. So yeah, like I have this room. It's an amazing room. I'm still setting it up somewhat, but I'm keeping it clean. And I have all this floor space. I have a hard rule that I'm not going to put anything to jeopardize the floor space. So, like I'm always going to have room to get up and move around, to be able to get up and walk around, especially like for the camera right now, like basically being able to do standing up sections of the stream and being able to do that is really important to me because I don't want to always be sitting. I want to get up, do squats, like yeah, sometimes doing more reps is good. Sometimes slowing down your reps is actually really powerful. Um, anyway, yeah, I'm glad that you're happy. I'm happy. I'm definitely happy. Oh no, it's Blaze. Team Lady, Tease tell me you used to play checkers on Lee drafts. I don't know what you shared. Um, oh no, it's Blaze. Welcome, 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 welcome. I don't know what website you just linked because I don't allow links. but you don't just take out the .com and you'll be fine. Like the no links policy is mainly for people spamming. Oh, on Yahoo, I probably did. Like as a kid, I probably played chess and checkers on Yahoo, but I didn't really play. Like not really. Okay, so let's look at the previous game. Looks like I played with 84.4% accuracy. I made 1 blunder and 4 mistakes and 2 inaccuracies. Okay. So those are all book moves. Okay, we're out of book. Whew. I'm getting a little lightheaded. I'm also a little bit out of shape. So that's like something that I'm working towards. So the first inaccuracy, this might just, because this allows a forced trade that would eventually trade off over here. And so I think that's like the biggest mistake. So instead, playing 3-7 right here is just like long-term support. Because I need to play 5-9 before I can play to 16, 11, 16. Okay, this is threatening. But I just move out of the way, and that's helpful for me. Yeah, this is good. This is not good because it allows the white stone to come into 11. So after 2-7, that prevents that. This was an accuracy. I mean, I guess. Wait, what? Yeah, this would force a trade either way. I think you would want to trade on 22. You'd have more. Oh no! You would want to. Yeah, I think. I think after 19 takes 26, that's 3. So that's why. Because you would capture 3 stones after 27, 23. So that's why I shouldn't have played 15, 18. Because it allows 27, 23 for the forced trade. After 1926, bing, bang, boom. After 1827, bing, bang, boom. Yeah, so this is completely losing for red. But white missed it. So that was actually an inaccurate. Yeah, this gets rid of the force move. Because yeah, that was eventually played. But now it's not really useful because there's no forced trade now. So it was way more useful right here. Like this is the absolute best opportunity to play this forced trade. Because after 19 takes, then bing, bang, boom. And then I either take with, I think take with 1. But if 19 takes 26, then, then bing, bang, boom. If, come on. If 18 takes 27, then bing, bang, boom. So either way, this is like a really good opportunity for white that white missed. And I continued to kind of miss it. But is a little too late right now. Like now, like I mean, this is still apparently better for white, but I think I think red has more options because now the 22 stone is like locked in between. There's no forced captures right away. However, I think there was no advancement, which is what I kind of noticed, but I think white didn't capitalize on it. So wait, what's the idea here? So if 14-18, that forces a trade, bing, bang, and then, oh, boom. Yeah, double trade right there. You know, like yeah, that would have worked out. And yeah, because otherwise, you know, if you traded here, it's a weaker trade. If you trade here, it's a double trade. I'm really good at this? Oh, I don't know about that. Yeah, I think like the problem with this is I can eventually have a trade opportunity by getting rid of this stone, and by playing here, I mean this is still a capture opportunity. There's not, yeah, it's just I need to be like guarding on the right side here, but maintaining the opportunity to bring this stone onto the left side because there's a lot more stones like on the left side, especially after captures on 16. But I don't really know if this is like we're thinking like long term like king range in that situation. Okay, and then yeah, that's a blunder because white has a lot of momentum over here on the left side, and it makes a lot more sense to start playing over here, especially since there's two different directions you could take. Basically, all you have to do, all white has to do is play 12-9. You know, so like you play 16-11, and then all you have to do is play 12-9. 3 takes 12, and then now you're going to promote 2 stones to king. And you're not, that stone on 12 is not really going to advance because of this stone on the 24. So white kind of missed a bunch of opportunities. First of all, forcing a king is like there's no reason for that. This stone on 22 had no way to promote because both of these were protected. In fact, with a double trade, white's completely winning here, and now white just basically helped red out. There was like no reason. Yeah, you needed to save this stone. But either way, like white is already like ruined their advantage. White had a huge advantage here, and all they had to do was play 16-11 and followed by 12-8. 3 takes 12, and then you can promote to 2 kings. And this stone on 12 is not going to be able to advance as long as this stone is on 24. And it's pretty much over from here. Like, yeah, I played some inaccuracies, but for the most part, like white kind of played into my hands, like at this point. Like, yeah, I probably could have played more accurately, but I feel like the momentum is so strong, it doesn't particularly matter what moves I make from this point. And it's GG. Okay, so let's get in for another. We're playing American checkers. Let's see. The creator was going to create Russian checkers. International checkers is interesting. Let's play. Let's try to play a game. Let's try to play a game of international really quick, just to see how much distance we have to being able to play that variant. Because international is a lot more complicated than any variant of 8x8 checkers. Yeah, so here we go. Let's. Now I do know that maybe just 1924. Okay, and then probably let's go in with 1823. Okay, so this is some forced trades. I think eventually we can get rid of that stone from 32. Okay, and we have some trade here. Okay, let's I need to eventually be able to keep the stone on 16, but I also 1218 is an opportunity. I think 1117 probably a good idea. Okay, so now we have let's bring in this other stone towards the center. Basically, I think bringing another stone in towards the center. Okay, it's forced. Okay, now let's create a structure here. Okay. Oh, yeah. Okay. I need some more support on the right side, so let's play 1217. Okay. And if only I could pull away out from 33, but I have to wait for one of these stones to move. Let's play some more support on the right side here. Play 611. Okay, that's a lot of support there. So actually, I can get a stone here on 32, but not until I need to play 913 here. I'm threatening 2430. Okay, that's not now. It's not an extreme capture, but after takes and takes at least. I don't know what I was calculating. I still think it's good. It just wasn't as insanely good as I thought it was. Okay, so 1319, I think getting some opposition. I need to bring some more support towards the center. Okay, let's go here. Okay, yeah, and then, oh, yeah, that brings over to 13. Okay, I need a support stone there. Yeah, if I can probably try to bring that 13 stone over to 22. Okay, yeah. Okay, there we go. Now I could probably make a breakthrough here. Threatening long-term promotion. Okay, now coming over to 18. I think I need support over here. Here. Yeah, it's preventing 3328. Okay, let's try to make some threats here. Ooh. Uh-oh. Okay, I make a threat here. Okay, I need a lot more support on the right side. Okay, making a huge threat here. Ooh, this is actually nasty. Oh no. Okay, I'm going to have to bring that back somehow. Sacrifice to prevent promotion. Okay, so at least now I'm guarding all these squares. Oh, well, thank you too. I love you too, Logan. I don't know. I think love is a strong word, but you know, I appreciate you. I think I need to start making some play to try to promote. I'm doing worse here, I think. 2, 4, 6, 7, 2, 4, 6. I mean, it is equal, but I think red has a lot more play on the right side. Basically going to be coming in here. Oh no. Yeah, this is nasty. Well, I think I need to start just, you know, minimizing my losses here. Uh-oh. Yeah, I allowed a pass through. Oof. Oh no. What am I thinking? Yeah, this is going to be over. Like, don't worry, it'll be over soon. Yeah, you better move that king out of the way. Whoopsie. Oh, yeah. Whoops. Yeah, there we go. It's GG. Yeah, so this game's a lot more complicated. Um, let's see how I did. Okay, I only played with 63% accuracy. So let's look through here. Oh, error. Okay, well, that about explains the game. Yeah, I think this is a brand new website, so things are going to be a little bit scuffed for a while. So let's do a puzzle. Okay, so this is yeah, this is going to be obviously American. So options are I can promote on 2 or 3, or yeah, because it's white to play. Am I going to promote on 2 or 3? Is the question. Or do I start with 18-14, 10 takes 17, 21 takes 14? Yeah, I mean, there's no reason to play either 21 or 18 because it'll advance red's position. So I think promoting on 2. Okay. Okay. I've been streaming for about an hour. Let's just take a little bit of a break. Yeah, things are. Yeah, I really like where things are like heading. You know, like my life is like starting to work out. It's going to be a little bit hectic for a while because I don't really know where to go from here. But like I was saying at the beginning of the stream, you know, one of the things I want to do is I want to start going to chess tournaments, and I think that's a really good place to start. You know, getting out into the community, but also I think finding people who play chess is gonna. You know, I've always wanted to go to chess tournaments, um, you know, on a consistent basis, not just every now and then. Like I've only been to like two different chess tournaments in my entire life. Um, it's only two chess tournaments in my entire life. I need to be going to chess tournaments like at least once a month. Now I'm in a situation where I think I can start joining a chess club, and I'm pretty sure there's a chess club that meets in my local area. So I'm going to slowly get myself to get it out in the community, start playing some chess out in the community, and hopefully even find people who play checkers, find people who play Shang-Chi, find people who play shogi, find people who play Go, and just go from there. Like, you know, pun not intended. Yeah, I'm really liking, you know, the direction that my stream is taking. I don't know. I'm just like I like how we could just like I'm hanging out over here with my Hello Cat. Like yeah, I could even stream from like way over there. Like isn't that crazy? Like how you doing, chat? You want to hang out? Why do I have lotion on right next to me? Yeah, I don't know. I like how I can just like kind of maneuver around the room now. Like we're literally just like able to situate like my stream like in so many more relaxing ways. Like it's just I really like how things are. Like there's so much more we could do too. Like this is one angle. This is one situate like this is one scene. You know, like I can set the camera up different ways. I have so much more space to explore creatively, and I have space into like psychologically. I have the safety, I have the peace of mind to be able to think about my stream now, to think about my content. Like I have the actual space in my life to do this now. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy. I still have a long road ahead of me because nobody's going to help me make better content. I'm on my own with that. Like yeah, I can find people, but that's on me, right? So like it's not anyone else's responsibility to help me become a better content creator. You know, I want to take acting classes again. Um, Hopefully I can find an improv class. I love improv. I do a lot of improv. Like just even just doing the stream is like we're improvising right now. So it's like this, but being able to find people who want to do improv performances, like that's something I want to pursue. And it'll make me a better content creator. Yeah, so anybody joining right now, basically we're just chilling. We're playing some checkers earlier. I have a long way to go in international checkers, but we're making some progress with American checkers. Like I went through a few games and I think I'm starting to think properly. And I think some of it even transferred over to international. So it's like we're making progress. I'm pretty sure. compared to how I was playing like a week ago, or even like before a week ago. Like I think I'm making actual progress in checkers right now. Like I'm starting to be able to understand how to think about my moves, like what I'm trying to accomplish. But the difference in variance is going to change things a lot because, like in international and in Russian and in Brazilian, there is reverse capturing, so that changes things, and the king is flying. And in Brazilian and international, the highest capture is forced. So like compared to Russian where it's not. So like there's a difference of thinking for those compared to American checkers. So American checkers is very positional because every single move is permanently weakening your squares. They're like pawn moves. You can't capture backwards. And so that like changes things a lot. Yeah, we're just kind of hanging out. Um, yeah, I don't have the kind of viewership on YouTube that I used to have. I think as soon as I start uploading more consistently, like just doing these live streams and then collecting clips, I think eventually we'll get back to the kind of viewership we had before. I also think like we're playing checkers and that's a very low viewership. So I think it's fine though. Like I think it's higher quality viewership because that's a real thing. Like if you play games like Go or checkers or even chess, the people who watch that content are extremely engaged. Like especially like chess. Every time I've done a chess stream, I have people coming in wanting to play me. So it's like that's a hopefully we can start getting ourselves situated with the checkers community as well. So like this is a thing where it's meaningful to me. It's part of my goals. I love these games. I want to find people who play these games. I want to organize tournaments eventually for these games, or at least find people who do. And if they don't, I can start figuring out a way to make my own, even if they're casual tournaments. Just like finding clubs, or if I can't find clubs, make my own, um, and figure out like the logistics of like, okay, like are we going to meet at the library? Are we going to rent out the community center for tournaments? Like all sorts of different things that we're going to have to figure out logistically, and then we have to figure out funding. I think for a while it's going to be really grassroots. I think it's a meaningful path that I want to take in life. Is I want to start being a community builder. I already am a community builder on my live stream, and just having more purpose, where we're trying to connect people who play these games, people who are thirsty, like dying of thirst for being able to play other people, especially competitively. But it starts out with just finding like one person, right? You can totally start a club with just two people. Like it starts with me. So that's like, I'm starting a club with just one person. And I think first the order of operations is to find at least another existing, like an already existing community, and just, get myself involved and connected and go from there. But if those don't exist, I have to start thinking about creating those communities. And then I'm going to have to work a little bit harder because it's going to be harder to find people who want to join if it's not an already established club. But I do think that it's possible. And I think I am in the Bay Area. There is a very, according to my initial research, maybe I'm wrong, but my initial research told me that there's basically way less checkers on the West Coast than there is on like the East Coast. And I think there's a lot in Texas, but I'm not in Texas and I'm not in the East Coast. And So I'm going to have to work with the Bay Area, which means like the San Francisco Bay Area is going to be, and Sacramento area is going to be my main pursuit of like chess and checkers. And we're not even, it's a whole different ballgame when we start talking about Go. Because with Go, I feel like there are some niche communities. I think there's communities in Oakland. I think there's communities in San Francisco. There definitely is. It's very popular, and there's a high Korean and Chinese and Japanese population in San Francisco, and Go is really popular with those cultures. And so I think getting involved with Go might be a little simpler than getting involved with checkers. But I think finding people who play these games is going to lead to checkers. I think finding checkers is going to prove harder if I look just for checkers. I think if I look for chess players and Go players and go from there, like, because then those people are more likely to be interested in checkers, even if they don't already play. They already play a strategy game. They already play a strategy board game like chess or Go. And if they already play those, then teaching them international checkers is just a, hey, want to play this interesting checkers game that you probably never heard of? It's called international checkers. Or have you played the Russian variant of checkers? Have you played the Brazilian, which is basically international checkers, but on an 8x8? You know, because a lot of people, maybe they've only played American checkers. And even then, they probably didn't even know the official rules. They probably played by casual, like house rules as a kid. They probably never played competitively. Like, there's, American checkers is really rich. Like, we were playing American checkers, the past couple of days. So it's a very rich game. It's very positional. You have to think very, like, long term. It's very simple, but it's not easy. It's one of those things where it's simple, but simple does not mean easy. Simple just means it's like straightforward. But you have to remember that your opponent is also thinking about how to counter you. So it's like your opponent's trying to win. It's not just an easy, like, tic-tac-toe. Yeah, I really like the direction my life is going now. The fact that we're talking about chess clubs, the fact that we're talking about joining the community and meeting up with people, I really like that. And it's not going to happen overnight. I need to slow down a little bit. But I think finding people that have similar interests I think it's always meaningful. And the fact that I'm trying to actually treat these as a hobby, and I think that's ironically more likely to succeed professionally. It's ironic, isn't it? Like, as soon as you start thinking, how do I earn money with this? It actually it reduces your opportunities, because it's like, I feel like if you free yourself from the obligation of monetizing something, it ironically gives you more tools to eventually monetize it, because you're doing something authentic. You're doing something that is grounded in in the activity itself. You're not grounding it in, oh, I need to hustle. I need to figure out how to monetize this, because people don't really think that way, in my experience. Like, people I've met who play chess, they love chess, but they don't think of it as a career path. Now, I would like to meet people who do, but most people are not. Like, I think my chess career is non-existent other than streaming, and it has a lot of room for growth. Let's just put it that way. Basically, like, I am nobody in the chess world. But I would like to change that. And it's going to start with finding people in my local community. And I think, like, it's really rare for people to find, like, live streamers. who have this kind of community-based mindset I have. I think it's becoming more of I think it's becoming more of a reality with the way that the direction that live streaming is going, because it's branching out away from the niche, like, hardcore gamers who never leave their basement, who don't go outside. Like, I think it's stepping away from that the more that people, because the reality of live streaming is that you're going to have to start appealing to the broader audience, like on YouTube, unless you have an extremely strong niche community that you've built. But I still think it's a better life if you start thinking about your broader community rather than, staying inside all the time and like just thinking about the internet, because I feel like it's better for your soul to meet other people and to be a well-rounded person, to get exercise, to get sunshine. I think these are good things. And unfortunately, people on the internet, people get kind of stuck in these little insular communities and they get a little bit brain damaged. I'm going to be like honest. I think a lot of people on these online communities get really brain damaged, and they get there's like an echo chamber, and it kind of radicalizes people, and I think that's really unhealthy. I've seen it happen in multiple communities. It's not about a particular demographic. I've seen it happen to trans people. I've seen it happen to the LGBTQ space in general. I've seen it happen to, like different like BIPOC communities. I've seen it happen to right-wing communities. I've seen it happen to left-wing communities. It's just this same pattern that I've noticed, is that people find a group of people online who are terminally online, who don't have any other community outside of the internet. And you find people who agree with you. And that's like a double-edged sword, because it's good to find people who share your interests and who share some of your beliefs. But what happens is that people end up not really giving like a reality check to their beliefs, because everybody is like kind of enabling them. And when you feel empowered when people agree with you, but that's a slippery slope, because what happens is then people agree with you so much that you don't challenge your beliefs, you don't challenge your assumptions. And just like in chess, just like in checkers, if you don't challenge your assumptions, you're going to get defeated like every single time, because you're not challenging yourself, you're not challenging your ideas. You're just going with what you want to do, and all it takes is some reality checks, and you're kind of left hung out to dry. And I think this happens to a lot of people. I've definitely seen it in the trans community, but I don't want to single anybody out, because I've seen it in the right-wing communities as well. I think it's more dangerous. I think it's dangerous for anybody. It's sad when I see people who they kind of lose track of reality, because they're stuck in these online communities. They're like, I'm a Reddit moderator, I'm meaningful. Like, no, you're not. You're moderating a forum on the internet. A bunch of people who are self-important, who only care about their own beliefs, and they want everyone to agree with them. And you're a janitor. You're cleaning up a space that is absolutely toxic, making it a little less toxic. But a lot of these moderators, they get this power trip, and it's like, it's really sad. And it's like they endeavor for this, like the moderators. Like, yeah, I appreciate that there are people who have that skill set of moderating, but I don't think it's an either or situation. I think there are certain people that gravitate towards moderation, to internet moderating, that with the right support they could live healthy lives, but they don't have that kind of support. In fact, they're actually encouraged not to have that, because they become empowered by further diving down into those little rabbit holes. And I wish there was an answer. I don't know all the answers. I think the answer is to go outside and touch grass. But getting people to do that is a real challenge. I don't think I'm going to solve it in this live stream. Okay, okay. I don't think so. I really don't. I think sometimes like I need to learn how to just like let the stream exist. I have this like really like I have like a performance mindset where every time I go live, I feel like I have to be on. That's because I'm a natural performer. But the thing is it's holding me back because I need to let the stream breathe so that I can like create like a space for like there needs to be space. Like I don't need to always be on. I don't have to end the stream just because let me get I have a mouse pointer in the way, so it's like I don't have to end the stream just because I'm like in a slight like kind of low energy portion. Like I think it's just I think things are really cozy right now. Like hey, welcome to the stream. Hi, how are you doing? I'm Rebecca. We're just hanging out right now. I'm just hanging out, sitting down on the couch, well on the bed, but I turned it into couch mode. People might see my paintings that my friend made for me, the meme cat and the you can't see the fish, but there's a fish smoking a cigarette. I think it's kind of funny. I got like this cozy atmosphere. And I'm still building my environment. Like right now, I pretty much just got like a kind of bare minimum room set up. Like probably put some additional stuff on the walls or something. Maybe I should get some swords. Would you guys like that? If I had like, or axes. You never see people with axes on the wall. Like I'm a freaking Amazoness, okay? Like barbarian. Imagine if I just had like an axe. Or what if I had like a World of Warcraft replica? Wouldn't that be awesome? Like if I had like an Ashbringer, wouldn't that be awesome? Like just have like an Ashbringer like on the wall. I don't know about that. Or like I'm a real life warrior. What if I had a batleth? I should get a batleth. That would be badass. Klingon. Well, I am a warrior. Dude, that would get so many people showing up to the stream. Like they would be like, "Do you have a batleth?" And then I could get the batleth out and like practice with it. I could actually learn how to fight with the batleth. Like learn Klingon martial arts. It's definitely a thing. I mean, like it's like kind of like Tai Chi. Like they invented like the Klingon martial arts for Star Trek. And like Worf, practices like a Tai Chi. It's like a Klingon Tai Chi. So that's kind of interesting. That'd be a fun thing to do on stream. Like imagine if I just had like a batleth. It'd be crazy. Yeah, it's 10 a.m. right now, or 10, 12, or 20, 10, 14. Yeah, I feel like the way the stream is set up, like I imagine like it's almost like we're having like a slumber party. Like, hey, what's up? I'm really starting to like the vibe that I'm creating. I really do have like a good vibe, I think. Like I think people appreciate my stream because like I have a very welcoming personality, and like I think I have like a warm appearance that I think people really appreciate. Because I think there's so much negativity on the internet, and I'm trying to just like get people to touch grass because I know that like I am probably like I'm a very I know that like I literally like the evidence is I'm a really well grounded person. I'm very like I'm way more able to understand how to integrate into the community than I give myself credit for. I'm very in tune with other people and like how they feel. I don't always know exactly what to do, but I think I understand people better than I realize. That people really appreciate me because I'm able to like understand like I don't have the same problems that some people have. And I think people see that as a breath of fresh air. Um, I think people are so used to people being extremely closed minded, being extremely like stuck in their own bullshit, which I do have my share of. But I think that people really see like my approach to relationships and my approach to life. I think people find it really refreshing because they expect a certain type of behavior. And then when I kind of like give them evidence that I'm not like that, I think it lets people breathe easier, I think. This is like just what I'm noticing from my interactions with other people. It's one of those things where I don't really always understand my impact on others. Ow. Okay, I don't want to like smash my teeth in. Jeez. Yeah, it's kind of figuring out today's Sunday. Um, I don't really know what I'm gonna do today. Like we're doing this for obviously, but like I don't really think like I know what I'm gonna do today other than this. Like I have some things I got to take care of next week. This week, but that's not. I don't think I'm gonna go live tomorrow. At least not until like later in the afternoon. If I do, I think Saturdays and Sundays are pretty good. Like Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays, I think I can try to go live. I still need to figure out the best times for like the middle of the week. I mean, honestly, I have 24 hours a day. Like I could be live streaming whenever I want. I obviously I want to get a regular night's sleep, so I don't want to be streaming late at night, but maybe in the evenings. But I don't know. I don't particularly know. Oh, I know what the problem is. Jesus. Oh, my vertical stream. I didn't have my camera on. Oh God, that would explain some things. Jesus. Okay. Yikes. Yeah, so I was only like I wasn't. Oh God. Yeah, I was only showing webcam, I think, on the when I was playing chess. I think when I switched over to just chatting, that explains some things. Sorry about that. Yeah, when I switched over to just chatting, it caused some problems. Yeah. Oh, good thing I checked that. Yeah, because it's like when I was just doing the just chatting, it's like I didn't have my webcam on. Yeah, I was doing a bunch of different experiments with my stream. It was like when I used my phone, I like turned the webcam off, and I forgot to turn it back on because yesterday I used my phone for just chatting. Yeah, I don't really know. Yeah, so I think just like learning to let ideas like float around and just like grabbing them like as they come. Like I think that's like important. Like right now, I think like right now I don't really need to be thinking about content so much. I think I need to just be like creating the opportunities for content to exist. That's like kind of what I was talking about yesterday. Or it's like if I really just like rack my brain a little bit. I think like the biggest thing about live streaming is really that your goal is to create a vibe. Like yeah, the vibe can be different. Like that vibe there's a lot you can do. You do have to create a vibe. The specific type of vibe is like kind of open ended. Like it's kind of like there's a lot you can do. There's different. I feel like there's different types of vibes. There is like the putting on a show vibe. Like putting on a live show, like with high energy. Where things pop. There is also kind of like a more podcast vibe, where it's just like when we talk about the economy, what do we really think? You see people creating businesses and then selling those businesses. Is that creating a bubble? Find out more in today's podcast. Like, like that's a vibe, right? Or there's like, having like an IRL vibe, like where you're out and you're traveling, you see the camera moving, you don't know what's going to happen next. Like you're out in the world, you're out in the community. That's a vibe. There's a gaming vibe where you're playing a game and you see the reaction to the gameplay. Like that's a vibe. And then there's like a just chatting vibe where it's a mix between IRL and podcast. Where you're in a more studio podcast environment, but you're interacting with chat more, which, to be fair, is not always easy for a small content creator because I don't always have people in the chat. So like that's I kind of have to go more into like a either putting on a show or doing a podcast style content. I'm going to be real. I'm kind of in a I'm kind of in a transitionary phase right now. Um, don't worry, I know I'm in a transitionary phase, but I'm not going to do a crypto poll on you. Okay. I'm kind of in a transitionary phase right now. I have very low energy. Um, it's really weird. Like, I didn't fully anticipate what I'd be going through after getting out of that trailer and away from my dad. Adjusting to the new reality is proving to take a lot out of me. And I don't know. I think I'll get over it eventually, but I think it's just going to take time. Like I really think it's just going to take time. What kind of content are we going to make today, chat? Is this it? We're just hanging out? Honestly, I think the definition of content has evolved because now it's like the things that you think aren't content are totally content nowadays. Like literally just me being here creates a space for people to come in and chat. Like it's just, I know it's kind of slow right now, but I really do think that like I need to find out like how to utilize this new space. And I think it's going to be a little slow at first. Um, and I think also I was kind of absent for the past month, so I kind of lost a lot of the momentum in the algorithm. So that's kind of it too. But I think I'll get back to like my minimum of like 1K viewers, 1K views per YouTube short. I think that was actually like what I was averaging before, and that was in the trailer. So now I have a lot more. I have better. I think I definitely have a better stream setup now, but I'm still getting used to it. And I'm also transitioning away from the trailer and into this new reality. Um, and it's going to take a little bit of time for me to fully get comfortable. I'm starting to. I think going live is a path towards that. But it's going to take time. So, I appreciate those of you who've stuck by me for so long, but, and I appreciate for you, being patient through all this. It's just going to be like a little bit odd for the time being. Now I want a batleth. Like, maybe if I save up enough money, I can get a high quality replica. Giving myself goals. Put some money in my savings account um, over time. It gives me goals on earning money, so I can get stuff that enriches my life. But like right now, I don't really know what I'm doing. Like I guess I'm just kind of inviting you guys into my process. I mean that isn't that like isn't that what my stream has always been? It's like I'm trying to understand like what my content is. Because if I don't understand what my content is, I can't figure out how to make it better. Because trying to answer a question when you don't even know what the question is impossible. Well, I wouldn't say impossible. You might accidentally answer it. But I think like once I truly understand what it is that my content is, then I can learn how to make it better and what to optimize and what to avoid. Because if I'm just like kind of all over the place, it's going to be so I'm going to spaghettify me. Like I'm just going to be stretched out so thin that I'm not going to do well in any endeavor. So I think focusing on like what are the things that I can maximize? Like what are the things that are going to make my content best? And I think that's a useful question to try to answer. Yeah, maybe we can like move the stream to outside, but it's a little cold, but I think it's fine. I would have to get up and move around. Yeah, let's do that. I think I need to like kind of figure this out really quick. Yeah, so I'm going to be, yeah, so I'm going to be back. Oh, okay, test, test, test. Also, I think filters, audio filters. I need to copy over the audio filters. Copy filters, paste filters. Okay. Okay, that's probably fine, right? Uh, okay. Yeah, getting like getting a coffee. I'll be out there really quick, and we just chill and we can hang out and talk and stuff. Okay, we're back. We're back. Yeah, I'm just chilling and illin'. How you guys doing? You guys loading up the chat here? Yeah, so like hopefully I had to take a little bit of a breather, make some buckwheat with peanut butter and banana. And we're set up outside, just chill out. I'm trying to learn how to like just be able to just chill. Like, so like the content might be super chill for a while because I'm not really thinking about performing. I'm just thinking about, hey, let me just like get used to the space. Let me get used to just daily life. And part of the way I process is by going live. So a lot of it is going to be kind of boring, like probably for a while. Mm. Let me just make sure the stream is going correctly. Like on the sources. Okay, so okay, yeah, I need to turn on my phone camera for the vertical stream. Okay. Yeah, so that's all good. Yeah, so like I'm just like still getting used to my space, still getting used to like building a routine. So like right now we're just kind of chilling. I'm trying to learn how to like exist in my space. And so it's like being able to just like go out in the backyard, hang out, have someone to talk to. It's like really nice. Yeah, it's like we're previewing like the different types of scenes that I'm creating. So like the stuff that actually happens in the scene, I'm creating the space for it. I think that's like how I need to start thinking about content. Like I am existing in the scene. The scene itself might not in the moment be very interesting, but I am creating the like creative environment, like the sandbox. Like I'm creating the sandbox of like what happens in this portion of the scene, like in stream content. Like what are the things that are possible in this scene? I think it's a useful endeavor, um, because then I can better understand like how to use the scene space. And as a content creator, that's like a extremely meaningful ability. So that means like right now in the exact moment, the scene's kind of empty, and we're just kind of just chilling. It's a little ASMR, so maybe it's like a cozy vibe. But that's only one type of content. It's the easiest to make. Um, I don't know if it attracts a lot of viewership, but it definitely is like, you know, the laziest form of content I can make is literally just hanging out. So that's like what we're doing. But I'm gonna grow from here in my the things that I get a little bit more high energy, get a little bit more risky, like get a little bit more like adventurous with like how I approach content creation over time. So like right now I'm not being very adventurous, not being very risky, literally just going live and talking to the camera. So it's going to take a lot of time for me to rebuild my identity as a content creator, because my identity the past 7 years has been getting out of the trailer. And that's not really a great identity to have as a creator. Um, it was what got me out of it. It was like a temporary identity. Like, yeah, 7 year is still temporary. So it was like a temporary identity. and just enjoying my coffee out here in the backyard. Interestingly enough, like that literally is content. Like it's just like vibe content. So I was talking earlier about the different types of content that are possible. Not everything has to be like a performance. Not everything has to be like a show. Like sometimes just me sitting out here eating my buckwheat with peanut butter and banana and sipping on my coffee is like a total vibe. Like people are like, hey, this is relaxing. Maybe it helps them relax for a few seconds. You know, like that's like the goal of the live streamer is not necessarily to always be creating like the top tier high octane content. That's important because that's a content that gets attention. It's content that, you know, gets people really interested. It's more monetizable. I mean, for the most part, you know, maybe some few exceptions, like obviously like extreme vibe channels that are like ASMR all the time and they optimize for that. And they get, but I do think that like those still get less viewership than most. Like if you think about like live TV or like just broadcast TV in general, like usually high production, like scripted, you know, intense things like interviews, like it's a lot more engaging. Whereas like just, you know, you don't really see like TV channels broadcast during prime time like ASMR walking through the woods. Like that's more like niche content. That it's important content, and it's just, you know, it's not always the kind of content I'm going to be making. So like right now I'm trying to find my identity as a content creator because I have to explore everything from a completely new position. So it's going to be a little bit disorienting for the time being. But, you know, like everything else I've gone through so far, it's going to be something that I'm just going to take it as it comes. You know, figure out, you know, figure out what my new identity is as a content creator, figure out which direction I want to go. I think that's like a meaningful thing. Now, once things get a lot more situated, I do have a friend who's interested in collaborating. I think it's going to take a little bit of preparation, but honestly, all we have to do is get on a Discord call and play some chess or something. He wants to play. Well, he does play. He plays like kind of extraction shooters. Like he plays Tarkov. I'm not going to be playing Tarkov, but he is playing Arkham, or not Arkham, Arc Raiders, which is different than like Tarkov. He wants to get me a copy of it. Like he's going to buy me a copy when I'm ready, but I'm not ready for like video games at the time being. Like I'm not even able to log into WoW. I'm in a lot of shock. Oh, I'm still showing the webcam on the vertical live stream, like in the background. I need to hide that. Okay. Okay, that should be fine. Yeah, it's just yeah, I think I got a little bit too complacent with like how things were going with my live stream, because I was making some real momentum. But I think the key word is that there was momentum. I lost that momentum, well, for a really good reason, because I was in the process of moving out, which is a huge life goal. 7 years in the making, but really it was 12 years in the making, but really it was 20 years in the making. Like if I really want to think about it, like I have never been independent as an adult my entire life, which is 20 years. I'm 38. Since I was 18, I've just been tossed around. In fact, I know it might not seem like it, but that trailer was actually the most stability I've ever had in my entire life until now. That's a terrible reality I was living with. Like if that was the most stable I've been, Jesus. Like, if I really think about it, even as bad as that trailer was, that was the most stability I've ever had my entire life, like my entire adult life. Like, because before that, I was like in the homeless shelters. Like, it's just not good. It's not good. But it was like the only stability I had. Now I have a much more powerful and meaningful stability. So it's just a matter of figuring out where to go from here. My hair. It's all in my face. All right. Yeah, I finished eating. Now I'm just having some coffee and chilling. Oof. Yikes. Yeah, so what do you want to talk about? Um, I'm just trying to like figure out how to actually activate my entertainment circuit. it's like a hard thing to do right now. I just feel like I'm just so much in shock. Like as much as I'd like to admit I'm really adaptable, like this is a huge life change. Like absolutely huge. It's a ginormous life change. And trying to learn how to adapt to it is proving a lot more energy intensive than I realized. Yeah. Oh, whoops. I forgot to zip up my pants. Jesus Christ. My fly is open. Yikes. I like this configuration right now. Like the fact that I can just have I can switch out to the backyard. Like I have chat on my other phone. Oh, I just zoomed in all the way. Like the fact that I just have, like chat available right here. That I got the lav mic. That I can just like kind of customize like my stream setup. And like I think the background in this angle is like just so amazing. Like I really like the like the blank canvas that this new life creates. Like, yeah, it's it's a blank canvas. So it's pretty empty right now, but we're starting to fill it a little bit at a time. Just one little brush stroke. And, I want to set up my easel and start doing some painting, doing some drawing again. But, one step at a time. I'm not quite ready to set that up just yet. Like we could either do painting out here, or we could do painting in my room. Not quite ready for oil painting. I think doing oil painting outside is probably the best, because we'll have more ventilation. So like I think setting up here for painting probably be ideal. Then we're outside, there's like a lot of greenery. I could probably paint the backyard itself. Like, just sketching and painting. Like start with like some charcoal, to figure out like what I want to paint. Like sketch it out. Like, I don't know, I'll figure it out. I'm very new to painting and drawing, so being able to draw is a really hard skill for me, but it's going to take time and practice, and we can do that on stream as well. I haven't been drawing for a couple weeks because like I said, I've been in shock. Like I really have. I've been like in complete shock about the like night and day difference between like what my life was and what my life is becoming, what it's already become, to be honest. Like it's become something like really just like overnight, everything's changed. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. Like just think about what's possible now. Like it's hard to see it right now. And I don't know, maybe you guys see it more than I do. But it's hard for me to see right now exactly what I've unlocked. I mean, maybe my viewers have already seen it. I know a few people have already come in and they're really happy to see, my life take such a positive change. I'm happy to see it. My life could have turned out very differently. And instead, I took the path that was hard. It's a really hard path. admitting that I needed to stop avoiding transitioning was like getting out of the denial was like a huge one, because I don't think any of this could have happened if I didn't do that. Like, if I didn't admit to myself that I need to transition, or I'm never going to be okay with myself, how would I respect myself? How could I even, like, what kind of, I've said this before. If I had pretended to try to pretend that I could have lived as a man, what kind of man would I have been? I would have been a man who didn't do what needed to be done. How could I respect myself? How could I even look in the mirror? So there really was no choice. I had to live as a woman, because how could I respect a man that didn't do what needed to be done? That just cowered. Like, it's like cowardly. That's like a pitiful excuse for an existence. Like, what kind of man would I have been? I would have been a worm. Now, it's like, yeah, it's hard. There's a couple of realities that come with being a trans person and with being a woman in general. But at least I respect myself. I feel a lot happier. I feel a lot more fulfilled. It was hard work. It was really hard work. A lot of recovery from surgeries, a lot of uncertainty, just like this housing endeavor. But anything in life that is meaningful, that is lasting with meaning, is going to be difficult sometimes. I don't think it's always going to be difficult. Like, I think there is like something to be said about, like, sometimes things are just easy. Enjoy those when they come, because they're probably not going to last. Yeah, sorry for the noise in the background. I mean, there's birds; those are beautiful, but there's also like someone doing like a lawnmower. So, so there's like a little bit of conflict. But I don't know. Maybe it's a good vibe. I don't really know. Sometimes that's like I need to learn how to have radical self-confidence. I really do. Because I think, like, sometimes I also lose perspective. Sometimes I feel like, oh, I must be empty because all I'm doing is like talking to a camera. I'm not like, it's like, yeah, okay, that's part of my life. This isn't 100% of my life. And if I look at my reality, I have meaningful relationships off stream. I have like family that am trying to repair with, like I'm living life. And I may not be the most famous content creator. I hope I can, make success happen, but now I have the space to pursue it. And just because I have the space to pursue it doesn't mean I'm going to be successful, at least right away. But I think I need to like look at things in more perspective, that like I need to have more self-confidence, like radical self-confidence, where it's like, I know that I will succeed, that it's not going to be easy, that it's not going to be right away, but that's part of the game. I show up, I'm at least I'm showing up to put paint on the canvas, right? Some people just pack it all up. They're like, I may as well not even try. At least I'm trying. It's only step one, right? But hey, like, I'm showing up to the plate. I may be missing a whole bunch of the pitches, but I'm swinging. Eventually, I'm gonna just accidentally hit a ball, or maybe I'll get better, and then I'll start hitting them. How are you gonna get better if you don't step up to the plate? Like, I may not be perfect. I may not be the best. Like, I may not even be like at the bare minimum, but at least I'm showing up. It's just like exercising, going to the gym and all that sort of stuff. I'm doing some dead hangs on the pull-up bar, to build some like scapula strength and like all that sort of stuff. I have really weak back muscles. I can't even do a full pull-up yet. I have to do the reverse pull-ups. I could probably get my resistance bands to do assisted pull-ups, but I think most importantly, I need to build grip strength, and doing dead hangs is really good for my back. It's like decompression. So I think like doing dead hangs is probably like the best thing I can do for a while, because I have like really weak grip. And it doesn't mean training grip specifically is going to make you healthier, but there is like a lot of evidence, like a lot of correlation of grip strength to overall health. That if you have good grip strength, it's usually an indicator that the rest of your system is healthy. And I think doing pull-ups especially is like a good indicator of health. Like I can't even do a single pull-up right now. That's where I'm at. But I don't have to get there right away. And there's no shame in just, working your way up towards something. Because some people, they need things to be perfect right away, but then it's like, well, you're not looking at the big picture. Like if you can't do a single pull-up, then what's your first step? To get ready to do a pull-up. Or you could just give up, what does that accomplish? It's like the worst thing you can do. If your goal is to do a pull-up, the worst thing you can do is not even try. Like you gotta try. Like do a dead hang for like if I can only do like 5 to 10 seconds, that's where I'm at. I'm at like the very bottom in back muscle strength. But I'm taking my creatine, doing the dead hangs. I'm doing squats. It might just take time. I think like I have a hard time really like fully appreciating how long things truly take, and also how long we have on this earth. I know it's like short, but it's also really long. Like we have a lot of time. I could spend another 20 years of my life and still have another 20 years, hopefully. But if I'm 38 right now, if I spent the next 20 years of my life even just doing like the bare minimum, I'm going to be significantly better off in 20 years. Like I've seen people, in their 60s and 70s and 80s going to the gym and stuff. There's like a new wave of like mindset that people are having because of the internet. Because in the past, people thought that once they reached a certain age, that their pursuit of career, that their pursuit of health was just over. But reality has different things in mind. We're finding that especially even just as a content creator, there's an audience, like no matter who you are. And I think I need to like learn how to respect the process. That there is something, there's more I could be doing. But to believe that there's just something, that it's just impossible, is honestly, that's too high of an ego. It basically assumes that I'm above the process. The process is slow. You have to find a custom built audience for whatever your niche is. And it's like, that's a really hard process. And I think people, when they think that they're not successful right away, well, you're not respecting the process. You're just beginning. And if you're like not doing too well, well, then your job is to keep showing up and eventually figure it out. If you're not showing up enough, I think people are like, oh, it's just not going to work. It's like, that's a high ego. You're thinking that you're above the process. You think that you're above the time and reps that are required. Like if you like never played basketball before, and you think that you're gonna be like shooting, like 100%, 100 out of 100 free throws right when you start, like you don't even know how to hold the ball yet. Like, you're going to have some time, with the ball and with the court before you can even, like, you have to try to shoot. You're going to miss a lot of shots. But if you think that, like, oh, maybe it's just not for me, that's actually a high ego, because you're basically saying that you're not good enough yet and you should be better. That's high ego. You're not respecting the task. Like, obviously, if you put in like thousands of hours, then maybe you're doing something wrong. But if you're just starting something, like, yeah, I put in thousands of hours into streaming, but like, look what I've had to change. I had to change my living situation in order to have the space to even become a creator, like an artist. So like, I was living in a situation that was not allowing me to fully explore my potential. I was barely working on fumes, okay? Like, the fact that I've even gained even this small following I have, that's actually kind of a miracle. Like, I think it says more about my success than it does about my failure. I think the only failure is not showing up anymore. Like, here we are. We're here, we're live. We're having a conversation. Okay, I think it's been long enough. I think I'm going to end the stream. Thanks everybody for being here. I know it's going to be a little bit slow for a while, but we're going to get there. It's going to be a little slow, but I do have confidence in myself, that I can figure this out. And at the very least, I'm going to discover things about myself. And I think that's like the important part, because let's look at what streaming has done for me so far. Streaming has given me the peace of mind to be able to face the truth of my reality. It gave me the state of existence where I couldn't ignore my medical reality anymore, that I needed to transition, that I couldn't live as a man, that I wouldn't have respected myself if I did. It gave me the reality check of like trying to pursue the resources I have that allowed this new living situation. I wouldn't be here at all if it wasn't for streaming. I probably wouldn't have survived, but I don't want to go into that negative thought process, but I'm here. And it's because of live streaming, and regardless of how many viewers, regardless of like wherever my content ability goes, regardless of whatever skills I've developed, which I have made growth. I've also made personal growth in the skills required to make content. Like, yeah, I've taken like an acting class and stuff, but the thing driving all this progress in my life was because I decided to keep going live. So even if I don't gain any new viewers, even if I don't get any new abilities, if I stay the same, I'm not staying the same. Like, being here, showing up, is the progress. And I'm going to keep seeing where that takes me. And I invite you to join me. So come on in, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.